Baikal. Only a couple of miles north of Mongolia lies the oldest lake on the entire planet. This acclaimed title is not undeserved, as the lake is thought to be 25 million years old. Not only is this lake really old, but it's also the deepest known lake by volume. Lake Baikal reaches 1,641 meters deep and remarkably contains 20% of the world's frozen freshwater. But why is it so big? Well, the lake has the Earth's crust to thank for its size. When the crust pulled apart, otherwise known as a rift valley, the structure for this beast of the lake world was born. The lake is a remarkable 49 miles wide and 395 miles long. The ice here is as clear as they come, with an onlooker able to see 40 meters down into the crystal clear lake. There isn't just cold water to be found here, however, as the lake also contains 27 mostly uninhabitable islands known as the Galapagos of Russia. Rather greedily, there are 300 rushing lakes flowing into Lake Baikal, but only one flowing out of it. Amazingly, there are actually tribes of people who live on the east side of the lake and raise cattle to survive the bitterly cold winters there. This is one incredible lake, and aliens seem to think so too. There have been regular UFO sightings over this lake even to this day. Maybe word of the huge lake spread further than we may have first thought. Like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Now, it's time for the odd topic. This photo is of a rather curious and enigmatic place, hidden somewhere deep in an Asian desert, that has been capturing the imaginations of conspiracy theorists for years now. This strange mountain shape lies in the middle of the sand, and while it often looks normal, it has been reported from time to time that a curious bright light emanates from within, for no real known reason. More scientific theories suggest it has something to do with bioluminescence, a phenomenon that causes similar bright lights in water. More out there theories think the light may be extraterrestrial in nature. But what do you think? Either way, it's one of the most magical and mysterious places on Earth. Comment down below with the hashtag OddTopic and let us know your opinion in relation to what we just showed on screen. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 14. Salar de Uyuni, Bolivia. The world's largest mirror is the Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, and it looks as incredible as it sounds. The disorientating ground here is literally a mirror to the sky, and it's all thanks to Mother Nature and a hell of a lot of salt. For as far as the eye can see, the ground here is layered with up to 10-meter deep layers of salt, which are squeezed between sedimentary deposits. There's plenty of salt to go around here, as there are an estimated 10 billion tons of the mineral laid across this 10,582 kilometer expanse. The result is a huge mirror-like area which is so big it can even be seen from space. Aside from making a great place to practice your photography skills at and strike a pose or two, underneath this unbelievable terrain are resources which companies around the world are scrambling to get their hands on. Beneath the salt flat is approximately 70% of the world's lithium reserves. Not sure what lithium is? Well, it's an essential ingredient in the powering of laptops, smartphones, and electric cars. Considering how almost everyone in the modern world owns at least one of these devices, the demand is undoubtedly pretty high for this resource. Number 13. Lake Redba, Lac Rose, Senegal. Seeing a lake change its color from regular murky water to a pink hue is usually a warning sign that someone or something is injured and bleeding out into the running water. Well, that isn't always the case, so before you start calling for help, you should get to know Lake Redba and its algae friends. Lake Redba in Senegal isn't like most lakes, with the lake's high salt content being 10 times more than that of the ocean's water. Whilst sounding like it would be the worst thing ever to swallow or get in your eye, this high salt content also encourages algae to grow in its waters. This algae has the amazing effect of causing a shift in the water's color. It's truly a stunning sight to see these pink hue waters, adding vibrant color to an unexpected part of nature. You'll have to be lucky to see the phenomenon, however, as the light has to be just right if you're to see the pink hues in all their glory. Your best bet is to visit during the dry season when the sun is the highest in the sky. It's also completely safe to swim in the pink waters, so feel free to pack a wetsuit. Number 12. Antelope Canyon, Arizona. If you've ever wondered what sandstone looks like after it's been carved by wind and water, then head to Antelope Canyon in Arizona to see the incredible results. Looking like something out of a movie, the dramatic structure of this canyon is insane. The way the light hits the different carved out pieces of sandstone is truly fascinating to look at and provides a great photo opportunity for those with a camera at hand. These dramatic structures are really fragile, and as such, require a good bit of looking after. There are a few rules to ensure this natural beauty remains in great condition well into the future. For starters, you're not allowed to climb or draw on the sandstone, which is great because the last thing you want is a load of poorly drawn graffiti ruining your picture and someone breaking a leg in the middle of nowhere. While it's a stunning must-see for anyone, it's a bit too much of a tight squeeze for an ambulance to reach you. It's crazy to think that such a spectacle was created all by nature. And once you're done appreciating Antelope Canyon, and then why not head to Lake Powell or Horseshoe Bend, which are just a couple of the many natural beauties found in the area. Number 11. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park, China. Avatar is the highest grossing movie of all time at the international box office. But who would have guessed that this 2009 sci-fi film was based on a real place? Zhangjiajie National Forest Park will truly blow you away with its truly magical scenery. Fans of the film will notice the eerie similarities between the floating Hallelujah Mountains created in the fictional film and the pillar-like rocks found in this national park in the Chinese province of Hunan. The only notable difference being that the real-life one isn't floating. This park is a thing of beauty, with its overwhelming natural characteristics taking you to another world. Director James Cameron and production designers even admitted that they drew inspiration for the fictional world of Pandora from many international sources of inspiration, with the bizarre-looking rocks in the Hunan province also making the list. The weirdly shaped rocks are the result of erosion. Through years of expanding ice and natural growth, the odd-looking rock formations came into existence. The link between the park and the Hollywood film was cemented when a 3,554-foot quartz sandstone pillar was officially renamed Avatar Hallelujah Mountain in January 2010. Number 10. Baffin Bay Explorer. Pond Inlet is such a stunning place that it'll have even the most cold-hating people amongst us loving every moment of their visit. Otherwise known as one of Canada's Jewels of the North, the Inuit community found at the top of Baffin Island is surrounded by mountain ranges and is one of the most picturesque places in the world. Whilst most people only have local parks to visit in their area, the people of Pond Inlet are only a short snowmobile ride away from icebergs. If you want to experience the cold side of life, then this is the perfect place to go. With countless glaciers and ice caves to roam and explore, along with grand inlets, which are surely too cold to swim in, even for the most warm-blooded of people. If you were wondering what the local animals are like, then you'll not be disappointed to hear that polar bears, as well as barren ground caribou, ringed seal, and narwhals are regularly encountered by those brave enough to go out exploring in the local cold wild. This is certainly a cool place to visit in more than one sense. Number 9. Red Sea Star Bar, Israel. This is one restaurant where you'll feel mighty awkward ordering fish. The Red Sea Star is found in Eilat in Israel and is definitely worth a visit. This restaurant bar has a gimmick which certainly sets it apart from its rival businesses, as it is found right under the water with the fishes. Built in the form of a starfish, the insides are decorated in typical sea fashion with various ornaments, but I wouldn't recommend opening the window for some fresh air unless you want to get into trouble. Whilst most restaurants by the coast offer views overlooking the sea, eaters here get right up close and personal with the sea life as the various fish swim past you on the other side of the glass. When going for a meal or a quick drink, it must be so relaxing to just sit back and marvel at the world usually kept hidden away under the waves. I'm sure there must be stiff competition to get a window seat here. Number 8. Morning Glory Pool, Wyoming. The Morning Glory Pool in Yellowstone National Park looks like a beautiful gateway to the underworld. This bizarrely blue pool was given its name due to it resembling the Morning Glory flower, which shares the same deep blue. The reason for the iconic blue color is the thermophilic bacteria, which loves living in the warm waters pumped into the pool via underground thermal vents. The seemingly endless pit in the center of the pool has attracted tourists in their droves, all in a bid to get a look at this peculiar natural phenomenon. But some people aren't happy with just a look at a picture, as the continued flicking of coins and other rubbish inside of the pool has really messed with things. This reckless behavior has led to the blocking of the thermal vents and has lowered the temperature of the waters, causing invasive bacteria to enter the cooling waters. This has led to a tainting of the tranquil blue waters with a grim ring of red and yellow now visible around its edges. This fragile beauty once again proves how destructive humans can be to nature. Flicking a coin into a pool of water probably won't grant you your wish, but it will almost certainly leave some damage. Number 7. Mauna Kea, the world's biggest climb. If you're looking for a tall mountain to climb, then look no further than the Hawaiian volcano of Mauna Kea. If you ever find yourself in beautiful Hawaii and fancy a challenge and a break from sunbathing, then you should definitely give this mountain a go. For those who prefer to put their pedal to the metal on a bicycle, then you might be interested to hear that cycling up this Hawaiian volcano is regarded as one of the most extreme cycling climbs in the world, and it has certainly earned the title. If you were to start from the beach in Hilo and were to make your way all the way up the 10,000-kilometer high mountain summit, you would be in for a staggering 70-kilometer journey. Otherwise known as White Mountain, Mauna Kea can also brag as being the tallest mountain on the entire planet, with this height of 10,000 kilometers. The journey to the summit is worth it in the end, as the views are absolutely incredible when you look out over the world from its lofty summit. You'll be at such a height above the clouds that it can feel like you're only a small climb away from entering space. Number 6. Happy Magic, China. When a swimming venue was literally brought into existence just for the Olympic Games and then turned into a water park afterwards, you just know it's gonna have some pretty damn good slides inside its walls. The Beijing Water Cube Water Park in China is one of the capital's most visited tourist spots, with only the famous Great Wall beating it in the rankings. This popular venue was created for the 2008 Summer Olympics, with the 6,000 people capacity water cube actually being the largest of its kind in the whole of China. This tourist hotspot is a perfect day out for all of the family if you're looking for a way to escape the sometimes blistering summer heat. With countless slides scattered around the water park as far as the eye can see, including the mesmerizing aqua tube body slides, there is plenty of fun to be had. But it doesn't just stop there, with the water cube also providing other kinds of entertainment aside from slides, in the form of music and entertainment to keep everyone happy. Number 5. Bioluminescent Waters, Maldives. If you're out traveling the world and notice that the foreign beach you're treading on is glowing in the dark, then you might wrongly think there's been some kind of chemical spill in the area. You might even think that there are aliens descending upon you, ready to abduct. But the reality is that what is happening is all safe and natural.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
Known to be found in the water surrounding islands in the Maldives, this natural phenomenon may startle you at first, but it's actually just created by bioluminescent plankton in the waters. Known to mainly be present in warm coastal waters, this blue glow as the waters crash onto the land is a truly magical sight to behold and certainly helps illuminate your path for your nightly stroll. There are even people who usually take a kayak out to sea to truly submerge themselves in the magical sight. Imagine witnessing a view where the ocean is just as bright as the beaming stars in the night sky. If this sounds like something you would love to experience, then your best bet would be to travel to the Vadhu Mudhudu Islands in the exotic Maldives. Number 4. Airplane Hotel in Costa Rica. While you might be used to sleeping on a plane as it is in mid-flight, what about on one perched 50 feet high in Costa Rica's natural landscape? For $260 a night, that could very well be your reality, as this unusual hotel suite is set up in a stationary Boeing 727 airplane. You might think at first glance that the plane has met an unfortunate end, but it is all part of the plan for those at Hotel Costa Verde. Tucked away in Manuel National Park, which is found in Quepos, Costa Rica, this is the perfect place for quirky travelers who fancy a more unconventional experience. As you wake inside this plane, you might be thinking about what to have for dinner when you're stranded in a jungle. Far from having to catch your own meal, the organizers have another plane with a restaurant this time carved into it. Called the Cockpit Cottage, this is made from an Aeropostale aircraft and a railroad car which has been transformed into a restaurant. Sounds like an amazing retreat, although with it being 50 feet in the air, I do hope they've strapped the plane in tightly. Number 3. PP Island. Traveling to a group of exotic islands which are surrounded by beautiful beaches with clear waters and stunning rock formations sounds pretty good, right? Leonardo DiCaprio even has links to these PP Islands in Southeast Asia, which are only a brief speedboat ride away from Phuket in Thailand. This place literally looks like a fairy tale and is proving more than popular with visiting tourists and locals. The islands shot to fame when the film The Beach, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, was filmed on Maya Bay. The PP Islands look like everything anyone who enjoys nature and the simple act of lying on a beach would want. There are 6 islands which make up the PP Islands, with the 2 main islands being PP Don and PP Lay. Uninhabited by humans and sharks, you are left to explore the beautiful natural landscape to your heart's content, knowing you're pretty safe. If there are any diving enthusiasts amongst us, then you'll probably know of these islands as being one of the most popular diving spots on the whole planet. And with warm waters and plenty of fish roaming them, you'll have plenty to marvel at when roaming under the waves. Whale sharks are even visible at night. I don't know what else to say to try and convince you to visit. The list of reasons is endless. Number 2. The Wave, Arizona. Looking like the surface of another planet with its almost hypnotically unique landscape, it's very easy to see why The Wave in Arizona is such a popular spot for tourists. But far from just being a pretty sight, the rocky natural beauty unbelievably even has dinosaur tracks. The delicate layers which make up the site are sandstones of different shades of a brick red and golden yellow, which have been carved out over thousands of years by water erosion. You need a good portion of luck to visit, however, as entry is only allowed with a permit. A permit is needed to visit the Wave due to the place's popularity being so great that there are fears the site could get ruined frequented by large crowds. You'll have to apply for a permit many months in advance of your visit, however. Due to the fragility of the structure, there are only 20 permits given out per day, and when you have 150 people looking to grab one of the 10 walk-in permits, it can get very competitive. The high demand is made even more impressive by the fact that it takes almost 4 hours to hike the 5.5-mile journey to the wave. It might sound tedious, but the sights your eyes will see if you make it there will stay with you for a lifetime. Plenty of photo opportunities to be had, to say the least. Number 1. Fingal's Cave, Island of Staffa. If you want to see a cave and pathway built by an Irish giant in the 3rd century, then you should head over to Fingal's Cave on the island of Staffa in Scotland. At least, that's the story that Gaelic mythology claims are the reason behind the existence of this amazing natural site. What's more likely than an Irish giant called Finn being behind this beauty is that an explosion more than 60 million years ago was the real creator of these peculiar hexagon columns of black basalt. Fingal's Cave attracted tourists from far and wide, with some very famous artists and musicians even making the trip and coming away feeling inspired enough to create one of their masterpieces. This included the German composer Felix Mendelssohn, who in August 1829 made the trip to the cave. Despite being horribly seasick, Mendelssohn came away with the inspiration to the beginning of his famous composition, Hebrides Overture, Fingal's Cave. No other than William Turner also paid the cave a visit, and he too came away with a well of inspiration that led to him creating one of his most famous paintings, Staffa, Fingal's Cave, 1832. So, aside from visiting the mythical site to enjoy its striking appearance, you never know, you might also leave inspired to make the next cultural masterpiece. Or you'll just end up